Hi, I'm Simon, the writer and director of the new epic sci-fi movie of Infinite Worlds. And welcome to this, episode 2 of the making of Infinite Worlds. Now, today I was going to talk to you about the spaceships we've had done. The film is full of them. We've got 7 in all, and some of those are duplicated, so there'll be a lot more than 7 when you see the final film. But I'd always been a really big fan of Jerry Anderson and Thunderbirds and Terrahawks and all these kind of shows where you had real models and you knew they were models, but it just looked really, really cool. And of course, in the original Star Wars, they had real models. In fact, they still use real models. So I was thinking, how can I use real models and get that scale and that originality, but also combine it with modern CGI so I can manipulate it myself? I'd met an amazing model maker, a chap called Richard Dixon, and I commissioned Richard to make all the ships, and it took him a while, but he built 7 really big models going from like a foot long to 4 foot long. These are real physical things. And then I spoke to Taran Singh, a very talented expert in virtual reality. He suggested a way of, you scan the models and then you can manipulate them into a 3D environment. And initially I thought, well, that sounds pretty straightforward. And what we did was we used a system called photogrammetry, where I literally walk around a model, photograph it from every different angle, and then they take that into some 3D software, and then they can build the model from that. But what you end up with then, you don't really get a very high quality model, but you get a structure to work on. And then Taran introduced me to a chap called Damien Barrack. And what Damien did was he took that initial 3D model and he added all the little parts onto each ship and slowly built them up and put lights on and all the sort of details, and then you put all the texture on it. So is it blue, is it green, is it rusty, is it shiny, is it made of plastic, is it made of steel, is it made of rock? Loads and loads of choices, but you build the thing up, and then once they were done he would send me the files, and I could then bring those files into Unreal Engine and really manipulate the ship, so I could fly these things around, I could have the lights flaring up, I could do all sorts of things. Now initially when we got the models done, I went to a fantastic motion control company who took the models and they put them on a giant rig and flew the camera towards them and twisted the ships away, and so we got some very, very high quality shots of the ships kind of flying around on these rigs. And initially I chroma keyed them and put them into the shots that I'd built in Unreal Engine, the backgrounds, but you don't really have the flexibility that you have when you have it in your own 3D environment, because once it's shot and you have to kind of manipulate what you've got. Whereas by having it in 3D in Unreal Engine, we were able to think, oh, I'll just move it to the left a bit, or wouldn't it be better if it flew overhead slightly differently or twisted around? So you get this fantastic maneuverability and freedom to do what you want, because we can shoot it with, say, for a 12mm lens, and then we think, well, what would happen if we put like 150mm or a 200mm lens on there? And so you can absolutely just knock off shots once you've lit the thing and got the movement right. You can knock off shots fairly quickly, and so you get a huge selection, which obviously when it's done on a motion control rig you just don't have the flexibility, mainly because it's expensive and time consuming. So I found the way that we've worked, physical models, scanning them in, getting the detail put on, and then manipulating them in Unreal Engine has absolutely worked for us. So I'm so excited about it, and I really can't wait to show you these ships in action, because when they've got sound on and music and you see it on the big screen, it's going to look fantastic. So that's today's episode. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.